Because I think it's quite important. You just raised two important points here.
Yes.
Some don't know about the CPC, while others don't get to use it. I'll just key this in before my question, because we got this from Zoirat, and she says, I can confirm that CPC addressed my complaint from a seller at a plaza in Abuja and retrieved my money at no cost in 2008. That's just a Nigerian who understands the effect of the CPC. But moving forward, talking about awareness and how people can get help, do you have helplines? Because we'll come back to the issues of phones, because a lot of people will tell you that no one has actually been standing up for them concerning phone issues. That is why, well, the operators have actually gone ahead not to even improve beyond what we've seen over time.
We do have phone lines. I could read that out if this is an opportunity, or you give me an opportunity sometime to read the phones out.
No, before we go, we'll do that. But don't you think we should find a means of putting it on a pack almost of every product or commodity you buy, just the same way we put the expiry date on some of this, or the way they have the NAFDAC number, we can put a hotline there of your council?
Great idea, which will take up. But you know, we just can't intrude into all these products and services. We need to have an arrangement, an agreement. But I think that's a great idea, and we'll take it off from there. But for now, we try as much as possible within us, the platforms that we have, to let the people know how they can reach us.
What would you say would make me, a phone subscriber, or to any of the network, pick up the phone to call your council? What kind of breach or breaches would make me call you? Because sometimes you don't even understand it. So you don't know what would amount to a breach for you to place a call to the Consumer Protection Council.
Great. That I know. And that was formed the basis of developing a compendium on the right of phone users, which was my initiative amongst several since I assumed office, that a consumer must be aware of his right for him to be assertive. If you're not aware of your right, then there's a 0 point in which you are starting. And for telecom subscribers, because of the widespread use of that service, I decided that in line with the theme for this year, to put up a compilation of the rights of telephone subscribers, which was presented to the public on Monday, together with the Minister of Communication Technology, Mrs. Omobola Johnson, with whom I've had good relationship, as a start to educate consumers of their rights as of a telecom subscriber. So you know, if you have a conversation and it's truncated, that's a breach of your right. If you are involuntarily subscribed into a service and you can't get out of it, that's a breach of your consumer rights. If your billing is not transparent and you are not able to we find you have not been fairly treated, that's a breach of your rights. If your telephone, your internet speed is not as advertised, that's a breach of your rights. If you have unsolicited messages, which all of us suffer, I don't know about you, in the middle of the night when you should be sleeping, you have a ting, and it's some message that you couldn't care less about, that you should not receive those messages. So I've done that, and I would be finding opportunity to put it in the media. The website is there for everyone at least to know. We have an idea that the services we are getting from the telecom providers are not right, but we need to be able to say, indeed, this is what the law says, and there is a breach, and that's what I've done in a compendium for which the public will be given the opportunity to access.
Is this compendium on your website?
Yes, it is.
Because we have a complaint and someone says they had an issue with one of the telecom providers and they attempted to use your website to complain, but they couldn't do that on your site.
That's strange, because one of the areas of my intervention when I assumed office is to pull down the website that was there before, because it wasn't working. And I built from scratch a new website. It may not be the high tech because we don't have the phone, but it does basics. And we receive complaints from the format that we have put there. So I'm not sure what has happened to that person.
Okay, just in case, I know some of my colleagues who might be thinking about, can we just find out what exactly is the website here?
Pardon?
The website of the CPC.
It's www.cpc.gov.ng.
cpc.gov.ng. So
Yeah.
going there, with any complaints you have can be taken care of from that angle.
You have a file that you click on, and it will tell you, and you have the forms to fill, and you fill it and you send.
In the meeting you had, you said you had a meeting with the CEOs. Did they look at issues of information? Because that's one of the rights of the consumer, the right to information, proper information of documentation of what I'm supposed to get from the service I'm paying for. Did they look at that?
It's very sad, because the CEOs did not attend my meeting.
They did not.
They did not. They did send messages of their inability to attend and that they will send representatives. I moved that meeting twice because I kept saying in my letters, I want to meet with the CEOs.
Mr. Toke, this is not new. I think this is what I thought we should, as a country, take up.
Yeah.
I have never seen the CEOs of any of those telecoms companies meet with anyone whatsoever. It's all about representatives or some lawyers. Is it that the subscribers are of no importance to them? That is one thing. If the CPC can't actually have a dialogue with them concerning the rights of subscribers on their behalf, who can?
That's the surprising thing, because I thought that there were responsible organizations enough to know that the CPC is a protector of the consumers, and that if we request for a meeting, which I stated clearly, and for what, is to discuss the issues of the challenges that consumers face. I was sent some representatives, some managers from who can take policy decisions, and I told them, I need you CEOs to sit with me because we are going to discuss issues of policy, and your staffs can't do that. So that happened last week, but I'm taking it off. But I want to tell the public that indeed they should begin to check who are we dealing with, and what are the responsibilities of people who take our money for services that have not been rendered.
Because you're a lawyer.
Absolutely.
By profession. So in cases like this, what, it just happened last week. Well, we'll still also give them the benefit of doubt to also hear from them to know why they didn't honor that, or why they thought it wasn't important for the consumers' rights to be looked into. What can we do in a case where people complain through you and you get this kind of attitude in response?
Two things. We have a law that gives us the power to summon anyone, absolutely anyone, violation of which is criminalized by
violation of what?
Of refusal to honor a summons.
Oh, okay.
It's criminalized, and you can go to jail for 5 years.
Do you plan to activate that law?
As it becomes necessary. And we have, with some organizations, which is currently going on, we have a robust law that gives us power to issue orders. And disobedience of that orders also attracts imprisonment.
Because, pardon me to button, part of what might make a lot of consumers take CPC seriously is the ability to put their foot down, irrespective of whose ox is going.
Absolutely.
Because if the CEOs don't take the consumers seriously in this country, which perhaps may have been demonstrated, perhaps, but not honoring this invitation, and perhaps mindful of the law, people just will say, oh, well, no, it's the same thing.
Let's just give me a little more time.
All right.
Now, I've sent the first invitation. I'm sending another invitation. In law, even as a first offender, you get that counts for sentence. So I want to put that aside and believe that they may not have understood the importance of the meeting I called, and to reiterate a second time that I do need to sit with them. So when that is done and we get the same reason, then we have the big stick that we can wield. But I want a solution to the problems of the telecom subscribers. I don't want to send someone to jail and the problem is still there. So I want to, as much as possible, ensure that I get a table discussion for all of us to look at it. Whether it sounds right that you keep taking consumers' money for services that has not been rendered in exchange for excuses for doing business or challenges of doing business in Nigeria, which all businesses also go through. So I just say, just let me pull this through to the end.
We'll come